Okay, this is my first time sharing, and I'm a bit nervous. So please bear with me. Okay, yesterday, Brother Henry finished was how the Pharisees was asking about signs and all these things. He was talking to the crowd and everything. So when he was about to leave, one of the Pharisees invited Jesus for a meal, and Jesus accepted it. Accepted it. He loves the Pharisees, not that he doesn't love them, but only he doesn't like their ways. And so he accepted them. But the Pharisees he had a different mode. His ways is he wanted to find fault with Jesus. That's the reason why the Pharisee called him to the house. So as usual, Jesus went to the house, and then Pharisee noticed that he didn't wash. And Jesus knew what was his heart. So because in the Jewish custom, when you enter a Jewish house, you have to wash your hands and legs before the entering. Actually, the Pharisee wanted to pinpoint Jesus with this. But Jesus said, Jesus asked to clean the inside of the heart, not the outside. So he gave an illustration. So in verses 39, the Lord said to him, now then the Pharisee cleaned the outside of the cup and dish, but inside you are full of greed and wickedness. You foolish people, did not one of who made the outside made the inside also? But give what is inside the dish to the poor, and everything will be clean for you. Woe to the Pharisees, because you give God a tenth of your mint and rue and all other kinds of garden herbs, but you neglect justice and the love of God. You should have practiced the latter without leaving the former undone. Woe to you, Pharisee, because you love the most important seats in the synagogues and greetings in the marketplaces. Woe to you, because you are like unmarked grave, which men walk over without knowing. So I stop here. So Jesus is telling us to clean he's taking an illustration of a cup and dish. He said, you clean the cup outside the cup, but the inside of the cup is dirty. So he asked to clean the inside. So we have to clean the inside, not only the outside. Because the heart is very wicked, and it's not and very greedy. So Jesus also criticized the prophecy for giving the God, and he said, I'm sorry, and even to clean the heart, you can do it by giving your alms to the poor. It's one way of giving to please God, and also is one other way to clean your heart. For good things come from the heart, not from physically. So Jesus criticized the Pharisees in giving God the 1/10, because they give the 1/10, but they do not. There is no justice or love of God. So they give out of duty, not out of love. And Jesus said, so he has to do justice, and you have to love God before you give the 1/10. I mean, you want to do good to want to do good, also you have to do good to God first. Jesus also criticized the way of living. These Pharisees, they like to show off. They like to be the best. They like to have the good seat. They want to be recognized for people. Outside, they look holy, and they want people to honor them. And so this is the way of their living. I mean, this is not what is required. They show outsidely, but inwardly they're not what they are. They are more to the laws and how to keep the laws and they also add up a lot of laws in their Moses law. So they emphasize more on the law keeping. They think that that is important. No, that is important, but then they miss the point of that they have to love God more than the law. And he also, Jesus has told them, like, they are unmarked graves, which man walks over without knowing it. So in Numbers 19:16, it is written, whoever in the open field touches one who is slain by a sword, or who has died, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days. So this is one of the uh, Mosaic laws. So they become unclean. So they have to be kept away for 7 days. So, but Jesus is comparing them to these unmarked graves, because when the Jews, they whitewash the tombs so that people will not touch they will know there's a tomb and nobody will touch it, because once you touch the tomb, you become unclean. So but then Jesus is comparing them to be unmarked tombs, because whatever you do, you're still internally, you have defiled yourself. So whether you touch the tomb, you don't touch the tomb, you're already defiled by your action and by your ways. So that's why he's comparing them to the unmarked tombs. So one of the one of the experts of the law answered him, "Teacher, when you say these things, you insult us also." And Jesus replied, "And you experts in the law, woe to you, because you load people down with burdens they can hardly carry, and you yourself will not lift one finger to help them. Woe to you, because you built tombs for the prophets, and it was your forefathers who killed them. So you testify that you approve of what your forefathers did. They killed the prophets, and you build the tombs. Because of this, God in his wisdom said, I will send some prophets and apostles, some of whom they will kill and others they will persecute. Therefore, this generation will be held responsible for the blood of all the prophets that has been shed since the beginning of the world, from the blood of Abel to the blood of Zechariah, who was killed between the altar and the sanctuary. Yes, I tell you, this generation will be held responsible for all this. So here God, Jesus, and the law of the expert of the law tells Jesus that you are also putting us into this. You are insulting us, but Jesus replied them, but they are burdened with laws. They have so much law to the people. They give them law, but they don't teach them. They don't guide them. So they are burdened, and they are only pinpoint with their faults if they don't follow the law. And they are strictly want them to follow the law, but they don't help them. And also, woe to you, because you have built tombs. And these people the forefathers have killed the prophets and all of them, and they have built tombs for them just to show off that they have done something good, but recognize that the forefathers have killed them, and so they they want to compensate by building tombs and honoring them, something like that. But Jesus said that he will send prophets and apostles, apostles, prophets and apostles, whom they will kill. Others you will persecute. I mean, here is a prophecy. Jesus is telling them, even now I send prophet, I send apostles, you are still going to do the same thing. It's like a prophecy he's telling them. So, and then and he concludes that this blood that is shed from Abel right up to Zechariah is upon this generation. So this generation, so it is still, but Jesus has come, and Jesus will take the last shedding of the blood. I mean, that's what I conclude. I'm not sure about that, but Pastor have to help me. Or to you experts in the law, because you have taken away the keys to the knowledge, you yourself have not entered, and you have hindered those who are entering. So the good news they themselves didn't receive, and so because of that they cannot teach the others, and because of that they become a hindrance for those who have that they cannot hear the good news, and also because they are so immersed in the law only. So, but then this is what Jesus said, and then Jesus tells them, but still the Pharisees, Jesus left. After this, he left, but the Pharisees are starting to plot again to find some more mistakes of Jesus.